weekend here. Markets closed on Monday. So we got Labor Day coming up. But in the meantime, there has been a lot of good action in the market. We're going to talk a little bit about Nvidia. I'm going to tell you basically how to follow and get ready for the new year. To me, the new year starts after Labor Day because kids are back to school. Football season starts. I mean, like it's a summer's over, election year. There's been a lot of good news that's going on that's causing some great volatility. But to do it very successfully, you got to know how to play the game, and that's why we're here today. So let me just get a little started and just tell you really quick. Just a little disclaimer, just let everybody know, I'm not making any guarantees or promises when you're done after today. Every student is, basically case by case, who are successful or not. There is a very high risk in trading. So please be very wise before you go out there and trade in today's volatile markets. Now, a couple of things we're going to be covering. Biggest thing that we're going to focus on is how do we follow big money if we're going long, if we're going short, if we're going to trade an option, if we're going to do cryptocurrency, whatever it is. You need to learn how to follow the money by using price action. And the price action is all the time in sales, which leads to order flow and all that good stuff. I'll talk about times during the day. We're going to talk about best platforms to use, everything you need to know to hopefully not be part of the 80 to 90% of the traders that fail in today's markets. Now, getting back to popular stocks that people all know about, it's all about the Magnificent Seven. Everybody wants to know, how to trade these stocks. I know everyone here probably have traded one of them in their lifetime. Maybe you have some in your portfolio, but you're going to see that just by trading these one stocks, you could apply it towards any stock out there in the market. Now, let's talk about and take a look what happened in today's markets right now. So let me bring up my execution system. And right now you can see we're having a really, really, really nice rally in the market. We're up about 400 points. You could see here long-term when we had this big crash that happened right in the first week of August, when we dropped down to 3,800, we're already back up and broke all-time highs. I mean, it's just been endless running up. And I know some of us here wish that we still had some of the stocks or maybe didn't get shaken out of certain stocks. But listen, it's never too late to buy. There are opportunities everywhere out there. And I'll talk about some of them just like today. There was a stock like Lucy. Stock went from 350 in the pre-market, shot up, went all the way to $7 a share. Here's another one. XRTX stock goes from $1.40 all the way to $2.40. Okay. Huge runner. You also had some nice shorts. You had Dollar General. Stock went from 130 all the way down to 87. So there are many stocks to trade other than just constantly focusing on what's Tesla doing, what's Apple doing, and maybe not looking at it in a way that I can't afford to trade these stocks because maybe they're too expensive and I got to trade the options. But there's opportunities to trade everything out there, and we'll show you how to do it. And the big thing we're going to focus on is this. Hold on a second. Let me just bring this up again. There we go. We're going to talk about level 4. Now, level 4 and level 3 is going to show us where all the big block orders are. See, everyone is so focused on the past. We need to focus on the future. The future is, where are the algorithms? Where are the BlackRocks, the Goldman Sachses, the Morgan Stanleys, the Bank of Americas? This is what's going to give you a game plan to know where Wall Street is and not be part of Main Street. And that's what it's all about. Now, getting back to my PowerPoint, let's just talk about what happened with Nvidia, just as in what happened yesterday. They had earnings. Okay. And the stock went from 128, shot all the way back down to about 115, and went right back to 124. Now, I'm going to ask everybody a question. And it's very important that you interact, because if you don't know the answers, you should not be trading, and we're not going to pick on anybody. But my question to everybody here is this. How do stocks go up and go down in the market? Can everybody answer that question? How do they go up and down? Linda, you're right. Margaret, Robert, buyers and sellers and supply and demand. Okay. If you can't answer this question, you should not be trading, period. All right. And like I said, there's a lot of you in here and some of you didn't answer. Okay. Joe, thank you very much for sharing that. Buyers and sellers. Now, think how much easier your life would be if you knew where the buyers and sellers are. Now, some of you are like, that's too easy to be true. Okay. No, it's not. No, it's not. And I'll show you why. Okay. That is why we're here. We're here to kind of show you exactly what these market makers do and how they buy it. So how do we do that? We follow the big money. Now, looking at this right here, you could see this is basically Nvidia on what we call level 3, which is called NASDAQ Book Viewer. And on the left-hand side, these are the buyers. Now, if the stock is going down, the only way it's going to stop going lower is that we need buyers to make a support level. And as you work your way down, you look at all these shares at these prices with these orders. You notice the biggest significant buyer is right here at 115, and there's about 328,000 shares. Now, I always like to bust out my calculator and want to know how much really is that, okay? Well, 328 times 115 comes out to be $37 million want to be bought at that one price. Now, you got 2,000 share buyers, you got 600 share buyers, you got 800 share buyers. You're talking 328,000 at that specific number. Now, why do they want to buy it at 115? Why don't they want to buy it at 110? Why don't they want to buy why 115? You know what? I don't care. And neither should you. All you need to know is that's where they are. And if that's where they are, that's where you want to buy it also. How do I know this? Because, and let me clear this out and show you. I was a market maker. That's what I used to do 30 years ago. Okay. And being a market maker, I've learned that nobody should be in any position unless you know what everyone else is doing. And that's why Cyber Trade University has been here today. That's why we're the leading educational school in the industry. That's why we have a 5-star rating in the industry in Google. This is why we're being endorsed by every brokerage in the industry, is because you're being trained by market makers. Okay. Now, being a market maker, which basically what that means, I was a trader at a trading firm. You have to learn how to compete and trade against Wall Street. Okay. And you can't beat them. You just got to have to join them. And that's okay. That's okay. But the way I got started was this. I at 22 years old, okay, I was a ignorant, young, cocky kid. Okay. I'm 52 now. What I've learned when I started out is that I thought I could figure this on my own. I didn't want to go work for somebody. I didn't want to split the profits. I didn't want to take my Series 7 and 63 licenses and all that. I'm like everyone else. Let me try it. If I like it, then maybe I'll take a job. Well, that didn't work too well for me because I blew up 2 accounts and my father told me, you're not getting any more money. I worked too hard for it. Do it like everyone else does. Go get a job, go work for somebody. And let me tell you what I've learned. On the first day on the job, I should have never made my first trade, because it didn't matter with Fausto Pugliese or you, Joe, or you, Gillis, or you, Margaret, or you, Linda. It matters what the big boys are doing. You need to know where the institutions are. You need to know where the floor traders are. They are moving blocks of stock, okay? So they don't care about you. They just care about themselves. Now, this is what I'm going to do as a gift before we get started, okay? I am also the author of How to Beat Market Makers at Their Own Game. Now, I wrote a book on how everything, the secrets of what market makers do by playing reverse psychology against you, everything, okay? Now, it's for sale on Amazon for $47, but today I'm going to give it to you for free as a gift of my appreciation for you to be here. So all you need to do right now, if everyone's here, open up a email. And if you just can go in here and type in Fausto P at ctucorp.com, and just write book or anything. I'll put it in here in the email. There you go. Thank you for putting that in an email. And just hit send, or if you want to leave a little comment, if just make sure you let me know what your name is, because I know some of you register. I don't know who you are. I like to address you by your name. So just click send, and that's it. All right. And I'll get that on my inbox. And when we're done today, I'm going to make sure you get a copy of that immediately. Okay. Now it's a color book. It's a fast read. And I think just this book alone, as a gift to me, to you, is going to give you a very good basic understanding of why 90% of the people fail in trading. All right. Gillis says, excellent read. Thank you very much. By the way, Gillis, if you can click where it says everything, you know where you say you chat where it says to, could you just drop down menu, just click to everybody. Okay. Everyone. But that was from Gillis. I'm glad you enjoyed it. All right. So listen, I've been featured on a lot of news stations everywhere around the world. And the thing is this, that should not impress you. What should impress you is that it's not how good of a trader I am, is that can I teach you how to do the same? And that's where it comes down to it, because this is not about me. This is about you. And let me tell you why people fail in trading is because they're too focused on what's going on in the past. They're not focusing on the future. And because you have to ask yourself, who really trained you? That's where it comes down to it, and look yourself in the mirror. Are you one of those people that are trading on a laptop in your basement by yourself? Yeah, that's not going to work very well. Okay. I know that if I went to a doctor's office, and if the doctor is the secretary, the doctor's the nurse, the doctor is, is the pharmacist, the doctor is calling me, I don't want to go to that doctor. Okay. Would you give your money to somebody that never learned how to trade finance? Well, what makes you any different? So I'm here to tell you how to trade the game of trading. And it all starts by following the big money. If you're not following the big money, then you're following nobody and you're just trading blind. So we're going to start off talking about something called the NASDAQ book viewer, which is called level 3. Now I'm going to be prepared because I'm going to give you a link. It's going to tell you where to get it. But before we do that, and I don't want to waste your time, let's talk about a little bit about it. So what we're seeing right here is we're looking at just a whole bunch of numbers, right? But basically what we need to focus on, buyers and sellers. Now we're looking at every buyer around the entire world that wants to trade Amazon and every seller around the world that wants to sell Amazon. You're seeing every order that's out there. You're seeing every share that's looking to be bought and at what price. So you're seeing every single order out the entire market that want to trade Amazon. Now, the thing that you're probably asking is, okay, well, how do I know what I'm looking at? Well, believe it or not, 98% of what you see here is garbage. What you care about is this. The 157,000, 54,000 share buyer out here are at 171.50. These 400 shares, 2,000 shares, maybe 9,000 is not technically a demand. What is a demand is this person right there. Now, let's show you how we utilize it. We're looking at a stock. This is a stock that actually we traded yesterday, PDD. I don't know if you guys saw it. It took a very big hit lately. But the thing is this. You ever own a stock and it goes down and you're sinking and you're losing money on it and you're like, damn it, how much lower is this thing going to go? Well, what you have to do is you got to know where the buyers are. And you got to know where support levels are. But support levels don't exist unless the buyers are out there bidding for it. And you could see right here that this stock literally went all the way down from a price of 96, and in less than an hour, it went all the way down to a price of $88, hit 88 and went right back up to 91, came back down to 88 and went back up to 90. Why? And then all of a sudden it shot all the way up to 92. Why did it stop at 88? Why did it stop at 90? Why did it stop at 85? Why 88? Well, when you look at the orders and you look for buyers, you're looking for big block orders or a lot of shares right there, which is this order right there. You have 474 orders that make up 75,000 shares at $88. Now, is that a lot? Some of you might think like, I never really thought about it. It is, but is it? Well, when you have people showing 900 shares, 1,000 shares, 800 shares, yeah, it's a lot. It's definitely a lot. And that's what you have to look at it. Now, look what happens when a stock hits a resistance levels. Whenever you own a stock, you got to have a game plan. You got to know where to get out. And the only way you need to know where to get out is where the sellers are, because we always need to focus on taking profits. And you could see here, the stock went from 65 all the way to 67, right back down to 65. Why did it stop at 67? Why didn't it go to 70? Well, the only answer is this. There must have been a seller somewhere around 67 that's going to prevent it. How would you have known and had a game plan to get out of it? Well, when you look over here on the sell side, on the NASDAQ exchange, you'll see that there's 155,000 share seller made up of 346 orders around the entire world. Now, let me tell you, I'm not out there and I'm questioning that. Okay. I'm not going to act like I'm smarter than that guy, because if I am, guess what? I'm going to be like the 80 to 90% of the failures out here and run the stock down all the way down to 65. And I am not going to do that, because I did it before I got educated, and I'm not going to do it again. And that's why I'm here. I'm here to educate you so you don't make that same mistake. Now, before I move any forward, I have a question to ask. Okay. Did I lose anybody? Did I lose anybody here? Nobody's got lost. Okay, good. That's what I want to see. Who am I missing? Don't let me pick on you, KP. I don't know who you are. You logged in, KP. Crystal, what about you, Crystal? Crystal Wang, Ogie, Teddy, Todd, Tom. What about you guys? You guys lost? Just want to make sure you're paying attention. Good. All right. Let's go over some of the trades that we did this past week. All right. Let's talk about the Nvidia trade again. So Nvidia had the earnings yesterday. It ran from 128. It dropped all the way down to this crazy number within a blink of an eye, dropped over $10, right around this number, right around here in the after hours. So the thing is this. Let me bring it up over here. So here's Nvidia. And I'm going to bring up the long-term chart. So you could see right here, if I bring a trend line, you see how it stopped specifically exactly to 115? It didn't stop at 118 or 190. It stopped at 115, not once, twice. Okay. It hit 115, went back up to 125, came back down to 115. Why is that? Why 115? Can anybody answer that question? Why did the stock stop at 115? Because right now it's trading at 121. Why 115? Must have been a big buyer, right, Gillis? Now, the question is this. Do you see buyers on a chart? Yes or no? No, absolutely not. So how did you know when you were watching this thing going down that it was going to... Hold on. When you see this thing coming down right here, let me zoom in a little bit closer so you can see a little bit within that hour. How did you know it was going to stop right there? How would you have known to put the limit order? Chart ain't going to help answer that question for you. But you know what will? This. And you want to see something unbelievable? At 115, there was a 300,000 share buyer. Jesus, how much money is that? How much money is that? 328 times 115, 37 million smackaroos of stock. Sounds like a lot to me, don't you think? Do you want to question that? I don't think you would. So That is why we hit it. We went up. We hit it. We went up. And now we're at 24. All because of the big buyer out there. Let's look at another one. Let's see what happens when the stock tops out and hits a ceiling, right? We're looking at support levels. Look at ceilings. So here we're looking at Chewy. Chewy had earnings too. That was another stock that had a good pop, right? But you ever own a stock, you're like, oh my God, do I sell it now? Do I take a profit? You know, you don't want a stock to dictate and tell you when it's going down. You should know where it's going down before it gets there. And how do we know that? We're going to look over here and we're going to see where the sellers are. They're on the right-hand side. And as we work our way down, we see a 5-digit number at $30. So in theory, I'm not thinking 31. I'm not thinking 30 and a half. I'm not thinking 29.50. I am thinking $30 a share. I want to maximize my profit on it. And if I didn't maximize my profit and didn't have that game plan, guess what? Now we're back down to 29. Only reason why that stock went down is because there was a big, big supply of sellers out there on the offer. Now, I had a question to everybody. Could we break our resistance levels? Can we get past that $30? Of course we could, right? Absolutely. That could happen. How would that need to happen? What needs to change to get past 30? What do you all think? More buyers, right? Someone has to execute those buyers. And how do we know if those buyers are getting executed? Right here. Something called time and sales. These are all the transactions that are happening right now. Now, I'm not going to talk about that right now because I am going to invite all of you guys to come in my trading room for a week and you'll be able to see this live in the market. But those transactions that you see right there in time and sales are what making the stock go up and go down. Those are all trades that are going off. Now, who here trades options? Anybody here trade options? Do you realize, we're going to look at let's look at the Chewy trade, right? So look at calls. Chewy was up over 300%. If you did not see that strike price of that resistance levels of $30, guess what? You just converted a huge winner to a huge loser. And don't tell me that has never happened to you. Think about how much smarter and better trade decisions if you knew where those orders are to give you that game plan when to hold those profits. Now, we call these things called iceberg orders. What's an iceberg order? They're big block orders. That's basically what we call them. I came up with that word over when I watched the movie The Titanic. You got to remember, it's not what's on top of the water, it's what's on the bottom of the water. And if you didn't have it, if you don't see it, well, we all know what happened to the Titanic. Didn't work out too well. Now, who here would like to get Book Viewer? Oh, you do, Crystal? And let me tell you, he's a great trader. Great trader. All right, so this is what you need to do, everybody. Email me now at Fausto CTU Corp. Okay. So I'm going to bring up my email address right here and type in FaustoP@ctucorp.com. And subject line, you could call it just Book Viewer. Please send. And write your name so I know who you are. And just hit send. Okay. So I'll get everybody access to that. Now, what you're going to get is this. I'm going to give you 2 videos. They're about 5 minutes long. The first one's going to tell you how to purchase it through NASDAQ, which is, by the way, you probably like, whoa, purchase. Well, you didn't talk about that. Yeah, let me tell you something. Nothing is free in this world. Okay. So when I started, I had to pay $1,000 a month. Could you imagine being 22 years old, paying $1,000 a month? Well, today it costs $15. And if you can't afford $15, you shouldn't continue moving forward with this webinar or with your trading with anything. Maybe you should go back and work at McDonald's. I heard they're paying $20 an hour in California. Okay. You want to do that? Go do that. You want to trade here? Just please keep in mind, nobody works for free. And let me repeat that one more time. I have a question for everyone here. How much you're paying ticket charges for a brokerage for your how much paying ticket charge at your brokerage firm? Everybody. Let me prove it to you. How much you all pay? Gillis, what are you paying? Crystal, Frederick, what do you pay for ticket charges? 15 plus $1? 15? Anybody else? What are you guys paying? Nobody. Is anybody trading here? Teddy, what about you? Linda, how much you paying? How much you paying for a ticket charge? It's a very important question to ask because majority of brokerage firms are charging you zero commissions. You ever wonder how they charge you zero commissions? How do they make money? Oh, you want to know how they make money? Because they're trading against you. Why would anybody give me? Why would a brokerage firm give me a free ticket? Because they like me? There's got to be a catch, right? So listen, when it comes to trading, do it right or don't do it at all. And I'm only doing to protect you. And this is why I do a lot of presentations for a lot of brokerage firms. And like I do presentations for the exchanges, because they know that if you understand the real truth behind how trading works, that would make you a better trader. Now, there's nothing wrong about them. They're just trying to listen. They're like everyone else. They're just out there trying to make a buck. But if you don't know how the game's being played, you're going to get caught whole in the bag. So let's talk about level 4. By the way, a couple of shout outs right here. Joe, I got your email. Joe G. Dan, I got yours. Who's this? David Dune, I got yours about the book. Who else I got here? Dan, I got yours about the book. Frederick. Julia, I got everyone here register right now. Shannon, got your old registration. All right, good. So I'll send that all out to all of you. All right. Now let's talk about level 4. If you like level 3, there is something called level 4, and we're going to talk about this more in our week trial that I'm going to give all of you at the end of this presentation. So basically, imagine looking at orders, but now you're seeing it on a heat map. And not only that, but you're getting to see orders very clearly. And let me go out there and show you what I mean. Can everyone here pick a stock? Anyone want to have a stock you want me to look at? Give me a stock. I'll show you it. We're going to check it out. I'm going to show you how it works. GLW. It's not really going anywhere. I need something more action. MSTR. A little bit more in the expensive. Apple's actually pretty good. Let's check out Apple. Okay. Now, Apple, you could see it has some pretty big resistance levels here, pretty big support levels here. You can see right here, you got resistance levels. I mean, you could kind of see it. Now, if I drew trend lines here, watch this out. Watch how cool this is. Here we go. Is this trend line right there? Got this trend line right here. And right there. Now, why would 235, 220, 195 would all be major support levels and resistance levels? Can anybody tell me why those numbers are major support and resistance levels on the long-term chart? Who made that up? Was it Mr. Fibonacci? Was it Mr. Bollinger Band? It was orders. It was orders. So let me show you what we have over here. Did I have Apple up here? Oh, I don't have it. Apple. Let's go check it out. Just loading up the data. All right, there we go. So you could see right here, you could see major resistance levels at 45, a big order out here at 440 for 220,000, another big order at 235 for about 217,000. So you could see it on that heat map where those big supply and demand buyers and sellers are. Now let me just go back to the chart. What do we say? Let me move this over here so you can see a little better. You don't see 245, but we sure enough could see right around 235. But that's right here. But you got other sellers out there. It's not 240. You got some sellers out here at 37, 238, 240. But you see how you've seen people have these big block limit orders out there? If you knew where they were, then you'll have a little bit of a game plan, know where to get in, get out of it. Like now on an intraday, let's look intraday right here. So the stock right here is trading at 223. Look at the orders right here, 233. See how I went all the way to 233, came back down to 231.50. Now it's going back up to 233. So you could see the orders out there. It just makes it more comfortable. That is how you trade today's markets. Now, is anybody here doing that? What platform you're using? We didn't get to that yet. All right. We call it level 4. So if you like what you see and you want to learn a little bit more about it, this is what I want to do. Okay. I want to show you how market makers trade so I could educate you so you could train other people. And this is why Iceberg Trade University is being endorsed and sponsored by some of the biggest brokerage firms in the industry. You probably will never see this from any other educational school other than Iceberg Trade University. And you probably will never see a 5-star rating in your life other than on Iceberg Trade University. Okay. This is our reputation. And this is what makes us why we're here today and been doing it for over 30 wonderful years. Now, if you want to learn more, this is what we're going to do. I'm going to invite every single one of you here to come into my professional trading room. My professional trading room is right here. Let me bring it up. Here's our trading room. And you can see right now, there's close to about 200 people in here. Everybody here in green is all the instructors at Iceberg Trade University. Here's all the traders down at the bottom. Okay. You could see right here in the middle, we give alerts. We have the chat room. We do live commentary. Right now we're showcasing TradeStation, but we keep things a little simple. We got the matrix, we got the orders, got everything. Now, I'm inviting all of you guys to come because I want to make sure this is something that is for you or not, because you know what? A lot of people want to go out there and try it and they'll end up blowing up their accounts. Let me show you how the market really works. It's not a lot of money. Worst case scenario, you learn something. Now, this is everything that you're going to get at Iceberg Trade University. We do a live audio commentary. We do it the first hour and the last hour. We trade pre-market hours. You're going to see our chats, how our traders are working and working together as a team. We're also going to give you live workshops. Okay. We have a Traders Talk event that we do once a week. We got live podcasts that we do. We're going to give you hundreds of hours of workshops that we've done over the years. Now, I know you're not going to watch them, but you know what? There might be something that we categorize that you think you really need help with. We got that taken care of for you. All for a lousy, stinking $9. Now, what is my goal? Okay. Why would I do this for so cheap? Well, listen, I don't need your money. Okay. I am just looking for someone that's going to register, that says who he say he is, and somebody that's going to take us seriously, so we can go out there and trade together like a team. And if you do this one event, not only are you going to get all this stuff listed right here, but I personally myself will give you a coaching. Now, I don't know anybody like me would do it for $9. Obviously, I can't be that good. Now, I'll tell you what the issue is. I do it because if you're serious of learning how to trade and you want to learn how to trade, we need to make sure you're qualified to trade. Think of me as being the doctor and you're going to do surgery. Okay. Wouldn't you ever want to talk to the doctor first before you go out and dish out the money and put your life on the line? Well, because you're not doing the surgery for yourself, you got to interview people. So not only are you interviewing us, we're going to interview you. And if this is something you want to do, we're going to do great at it. But like I said, it's only 20 people going to get it. Now, does anybody have any questions? Any questions so far? So just keep in mind, we're going to cover order flow. We're going to cover level 3, level 4. We're going to show you how to find stocks that are trade. We're going to show you, basically how they manipulate stocks and high frequency trade, all that good stuff. And like I said before, when we got started, it's going to be quite disturbing what you see, but you're going to realize every one of those trades that you lost money on, you're going to be like, you know what? It's like taking a ton of bricks off your chest. It's like you knew something was up. You knew something was out there. Now someone actually showed you what's out there so you don't do that same mistake again. Okay. Tom, you signed up for the early Tom slot. Good. Good. More than welcome. Great to hear it. All right. Any other questions, fellow traders? Now, when could you start? Can you help us set up your Thinkorswim platform? Yes, we do that. We absolutely do that at Cyber Trade University. And let me tell you, I don't know if you know this, but that they do have level 4 at Thinkorswim. We'll help you set it up, get the defaults, get your trials, everything up and running. Absolutely. Now, any other questions? How much money you need to get started is also a popular question. Listen, you don't need a lot of money to do this. That's a misconception. What you need is the proper education, because the amount of money you put into this is peanuts than your time that can go into it. I know people have been trading for years and they still don't make money. I'm like, what are you doing? You're wasting your time, So with that. All right. Any other questions? Yep. That's the link right there. First 20 callers. I'll be able to do a coaching class with you. All right, traders. So with that said, just remember it is Labor Day weekend. Markets are closed on Monday. We are closed on Monday. So we are going to extend your trial an extra day because of it. But don't waste any time. Start getting in the room today. There's a lot of action that happens right before a big holiday. Stocks are easy to read, a lot of cool stuff. So you don't want to miss it. All right. Thank you very much. I appreciate you liking my energy. All right. But I'll be even more happy if I could teach you to be very successful at it. Okay. Thanks for listening, everybody. I'll see you all in the trading room. And like I said, trade safe.